It's not like he's just sort of out there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Austin Reeves got hurt and Luka got hurt.
Yeah, but no, I haven't talked to him since the season ended.
Behind the curtain, the King has reportedly signed off on something that never officially reached the commissioner's desk, and the league office is already feeling the ripple effects, from yacht discussions in Saint-Tropez to a powerful Serbian super agent pulling strings, to billion-dollar conversations circulating quietly across Europe. The pressure around the situation is building fast, and even the commissioner's stance seems increasingly tight. At the center of it all is LeBron James and his ongoing Lakers situation. He is set to earn $52,627,000 from the Los Angeles Lakers for the 2025-26 season, which represents the final year of his current deal. Back in June 2025, LeBron opted into his $52.6 million player option, a decision executed through his agent Rich Paul in Clutch Sports. That move officially secured him a 23rd NBA season, something no player in league history has ever achieved. Once that season concludes, he will enter the summer of 2026 as a fully unrestricted free agent. No options, no extensions, no protections, just complete freedom on the open market. And that's where things start to get strategic, because the Lakers still hold his bird rights. They can technically offer him a max deal worth around $59, $5 million or more depending on salary cap movement. However, doing so would significantly restrict their ability to build around Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Jackson Hayes, and other roster pieces. That financial tension has opened the door to speculation across the league. Some are talking about a sentimental return to Cleveland, others about a possible Warriors storyline, a Knicks pursuit, or even a short-term deal with a contender using the mid-level exception. In short, every option is on the table, and the list keeps growing. But while Los Angeles manages its own internal uncertainty, another major development is unfolding internationally that has NBA executives paying close attention. It's called Project B. This is a global, touring-style basketball league founded by former tech executives, designed to operate differently from traditional basketball systems. The Women's League is set to launch first in late 2026, followed by the men's competition soon after. The format is ambitious. Multiple teams, traveling tournaments, global cities like Tokyo and Valencia on the schedule, free worldwide streaming, multi-million-dollar salaries, and even equity ownership for players. One of the key connectors between this project and LeBron's world is Maverick Carter, his longtime business partner and CEO of Spring Hill Company. Carter has been involved in advisory discussions, stepped away briefly during structural changes, and later re-engaged in a consulting role focused on recruitment and strategy. While officially described as a non-executive advisory position, Carter's presence signals how closely this initiative overlaps with LeBron's broader business ecosystem.
Project B is very ambitious and completely different from everything what we've seen until now.
Another major figure involved is Misko Raznatovic, one of Europe's most influential basketball agents, known for representing top-tier international talent, including Nikola Jokic. His involvement adds significant European credibility and reach to the project. Back in mid-2025, LeBron, Carter, and Misko were photographed together on a yacht in Saint-Tropez. That image immediately sparked widespread discussion across the basketball world. Misko later publicly acknowledged the project, describing it as something radically different from anything currently existing in sports. According to him, it represents a complete restructuring of how professional basketball operates. Instead of players signing with clubs, they would belong to the league itself, competing in a touring system with shared equity and centralized structure. He repeatedly emphasized that the model was unlike anything before it, calling it a full-scale revolution in the sport. According to his account, early discussions included multiple meetings with Carter, formal consulting involvement, and strategic planning sessions tied to player recruitment and international expansion. At one point, he even described being invited to meetings involving LeBron in informal settings, highlighting how closely the business conversations were tied to personal networks. Meanwhile, league leadership has publicly acknowledged awareness of Project B. While not openly opposing it, officials have made it clear they recognize its competitive intent. Their message has been measured. Competition is natural, but running a league is not easy, and the NBA remains focused on its own structure. Still, behind that calm tone, there is an understanding that this is more than just another startup idea. It's a potential disruption to the traditional basketball ecosystem. That's the commissioner's official framing, and on the surface, it sounds measured. But here's what people need to understand. When the most powerful figure in American sports feels the need to publicly emphasize that competition is good, it usually isn't casual commentary. It signals pressure. It suggests he's watching the edges of his global system, being tested by some of the richest and most influential basketball power players in the world, including major figures tied to European basketball and high-level player representation. Turning back to Adam Silver's stance on LeBron James, the commissioner has consistently made it clear he is not prepared for a future NBA without him. Going into the 2025-26 season, Silver brushed off concerns about LeBron's early season injury delay, rejected the idea of him aging out, and even expressed hope that stars like LeBron, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant continue performing at an elite level for as long as possible. When the 2026 All-Star selections arrived, and LeBron was not named a starter for the first time in more than 20 years, Silver maintained a neutral, professional tone. He avoided any direct commentary on retirement, contracts, or speculation about LeBron's long-term future. Instead, he continued to keep LeBron positioned at the center of league narratives, reinforcing his importance to the NBA's present and future. At the same time, the league's global expansion plans are moving forward rapidly. The NBA, in partnership with FIBA, is actively developing NBA Europe, with a projected launch window between 2027 and 2028. Silver has acknowledged that 2027 is aggressive, but has also indicated the league does not want to push beyond 2028. He has openly broken down the numbers, noting that roughly 15% of current NBA players are already from Europe, and that percentage continues to grow every year through the draft. His vision for NBA Europe is not modeled after soccer's imbalance, but instead built around parity and competitive balance, where success is distributed more evenly rather than dominated by a few elite teams. During the March 2026 Board of Governors meeting, Silver emphasized collaboration, stating that the ideal outcome would be cooperation with existing European basketball structures like the EuroLeague. The idea of coming together was central to his message. Behind the scenes, discussions have already taken place with major European clubs such as Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG, with potential NBA Europe regular season games being considered in cities like London, Paris, and Berlin for 2027 and 2028. However, while Silver is publicly shaping the NBA's global roadmap, another parallel project connected to LeBron's circle, led in part by Maverick Carter, is also gaining attention. This separate initiative is quietly competing for influence in the same international basketball space, creating a growing undercurrent of rivalry. And that brings everything back to one unresolved question. When LeBron James eventually retires from playing, where does his global sports empire actually go from there? Now shifting to his ownership ambitions, LeBron's long-discussed dream of owning an NBA franchise, particularly in Las Vegas, has been developing for nearly a decade. Though recent developments in 2026 complicated that vision, his public journey began in August 2016 during an episode of his Open Run podcast, where he first openly stated his desire to own a team. A year later, he reiterated that owning a franchise would allow him to remain deeply involved in the sport while empowering others within it. By 2019, during All-Star media availability, he made his intentions even clearer, stating definitively that there was no hesitation. He fully intended to become an NBA owner after his playing career ended. Alongside that ambition, he steadily built financial infrastructure to support it. His early partnership with Fenway Sports Group began in 2011, eventually earning him a minority stake in Liverpool FC. Over time, that relationship expanded significantly. By March 2021, LeBron and Maverick Carter officially became partners in Fenway Sports Group, becoming the first black partners in the organization's history. Their portfolio included stakes in major assets such as the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool FC, forming what was widely viewed as the financial foundation for his future ownership plans. In June 2022, LeBron made his intentions even more specific on the shop, openly stating that he wanted an NBA team in Las Vegas. That moment firmly defined the target. Later that year, during a Lakers preseason game in Las Vegas, he publicly reinforced that vision, speaking directly to Commissioner Adam Silver and expressing his desire to bring a franchise to the city. Silver responded positively, calling Las Vegas a strong potential market and acknowledging the broader value of player-led ownership ambition. From that point forward, the expectation across the league became clear. LeBron would eventually retire, assemble a bid backed by Fenway Sports Group and Maverick Carter, and transition into ownership in Las Vegas. That momentum carried through 2023, 2024, and into 2025, with LeBron repeatedly reaffirming his focus on that long-term goal. Meanwhile, debate spread online, with critics calling it another flip in LeBron's narrative, while analysts pointed out the obvious business reality. Even league insiders noted that while his absence removes hype from expansion talks, it doesn't slow the NBA's plans at all. Behind the scenes, the league quietly benefits. A LeBron-led bid would have created massive attention and influence imbalance. Without him, expansion becomes a clean financial competition among billionaires. Not superstar-driven politics, still, this isn't necessarily the end of the story, just a pause. LeBron could return later as a minority investor once franchise prices stabilize. But for now, the ownership dream is on hold, and that shifts everything back to the court. At 41, LeBron is still producing elite numbers in his 23rd NBA season, averaging around 21.7 assists and top-tier efficiency. But injuries, load management, and fading durability are becoming part of his reality. His historic double-digit scoring streak ended, all-star starter status slipped, and debates about his role are louder than ever. Yet despite all that, he still delivers vintage performances and key playoff-level impact. Retirement rumors continue, but LeBron remains unclear, repeating the same message. When the time comes, everyone will know. For now, the ownership dream is paused, the legacy is still active, and the NBA is watching every move of a living legend in real time. What do you think? Did LeBron make the right call stepping away from ownership, or is this just temporary? Drop your thoughts below, like the video, and subscribe for more deep breakdowns like this.